and it's ketamine. And it's something that has been used before, and they have found that for people with treatment-resistant depression, it can be a very positive experience. And I said, I would love to try. And so I get ready for my first infusion, and they come in, and everybody by far is so kind. And that was the biggest thing, is that you're nervous because for me, it's the loss of hope. I thought, what else, if this doesn't work, what am I gonna do? And so they were very kind, and they said, realistically, it's your first infusion, everybody's different. Let's see how it goes. And so I walk out, and you're tired, but it's a good tired. And so my ride takes me home, and I go home and I take a great nap, and I wake up, and I thought, for the first time in, I'm gonna say 6 months, I got up and I was like, you know what? I can clean this bedroom. Or, you know what? I've been holding on to my dad's clothes, who died in February. I'm gonna start sorting through things and calling places that might need these kind of things. And there was just such a jump in my step per se. And I really believed it was going great. But then, I had to go back a couple days later, and I kept thinking, okay, but what if it was just a one-time thing? We've heard that before. It's always great, great, great. What if it's not gonna be the same? I come back again. It's the same practitioner I had before. And so we're chatting it up, and she said, how'd it go? And I was like, it's going really, really well. I said, it's scary. And she goes, what? I go, no, it's scary because it's so good. And, I'm just so afraid the bottom's going to fall out. And she's like, oh, she said, you're going to get your second infusion, and we'll talk about it again. You meet with us all the time, and let's see how it goes. Well, the second infusion was wonderful. And I'm blessed that during my infusions, I have great dreams. I saw my dad. My dad was there. I saw my grandparents. And so it was all these great dreams and memories, and it was very relaxing. And when I wake up, I feel like I've been to the beach, or I feel like I've been on a vacation, and I'm just really tired. So my ride will pick me up and, walk me to the car and stuff like that. And I go home and I lay down and I take my nap and get up, and I had even more energy. It was like my parents moved out of 10 Wilmington Place, and I had everything in my garage, and I started cleaning things out. I started making phone calls, who needed this, who needed that. So there was all this great energy that I hadn't had in at least 6 to 8 months, because life had been so hard. So I go back for my third infusion. It's a different practitioner this time, but equally lovely and kind, and took the time to answer every question I had, took the time to ask me, so how are you feeling? Do you think it's going well? What kinds of things are you working through? And I was like, it's amazing. I said, there's nothing that needs to change. I just need to keep coming. It feels so wonderful. So I'm now on my third infusion, and I'm going back to the new Life Ketamine Clinic. And it's another positive experience. It's a different provider, and they're all trained medical professionals, and it's a different person. But what struck me is each individual who is highly certified and trained takes the time to talk to you, and not just read your file, but to say, how are things going, Denise? Or like, how is your experience going? Are you feeling better? What kinds of things are happening? I felt like they truly cared, and they wanted what was best for me. The level of compassion and empathy is so high. Mental health is such an uncomfortable topic for so many, and there's a stigma attached to it, and I always felt so validated. They wanted to do what was best for me. So the third infusion happens, and once again, it's a wonderful, pleasant experience. You come out of it and you feel like you've had a nap, but you could nap longer. And made my next appointment for number 4. And each time I went, it continued to get better than the time before. And what I was noticing is I was doing so much more at my home. Like I was waking up ready to seize the day. Typically before, I lay in bed and I contemplate like, okay, you gotta get up, you gotta get a shower, you gotta get yourself together. There's so much that needs to happen. And I found that when I woke up, I was waking up, hitting the floor running, and being like, oh my gosh, it's only Tuesday. I've got all these things I can do today. And there wasn't that feeling of, I've got to get through another day. I've got to do this and that. And my to-do list, things were flying off of it. I've always been somebody with anxiety who takes something that maybe is this big and it becomes this big in my mind. And I found that once I started receiving these ketamine infusions, things were much simpler. things seemed more doable. Like it wasn't a big deal to unload the dishwasher, start 2 loads of laundry, and take care of things. Whereas when you're really truly depressed, if you've never been, people don't understand the amount of effort it takes to get yourself moving. I noticed things were going well because people started saying to me, "You look great. What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, nothing. It's just summertime." They're like, "No, you have a glow about you that we've not seen before." I started going to the new Life Ketamine Clinic, and the high level of care and the professionals there made life easy, made it very enjoyable. And you realize that you're feeling better. It's when other people start seeing it. Because I had been through such a hard year burying my dad and everything. But many people were like, "Gosh, you look great. Did you go on vacation?" I was like, "Well, not yet. I'm getting ready to go." "Well, you look like you just came home from vacation." And I said, "No," I said, "I'm just really feeling really good." And they asked me what I'm doing. I said, "Well, I'm getting these infusions." And I encourage people to seek it out. Make the phone call. They're lovely to talk to. They'll take the time to answer questions. And if you have concerns, and these are the people that highly qualified that I would want to invest my time in. Series of 6 infusions went well. Continue to feel amazing. I was on vacation, finally got to go on vacation, and the director called me just to check in, and we had a lovely chat. And I said, "Yeah, things are going good." I said, "But I think I'm going to need to do a booster." And she said, "Well, that's great. A lot of people need a booster." Already had one scheduled. Still feeling good, but wondering if maybe is the bottom going to fall out. But it didn't. I went in for my infusion booster, and the same person that was after the end of the 6, the same person was experiencing the same things. And getting ready to go back to school. I've been in my classroom. I'm cleaning, I'm organizing, and it's probably the first time in a long time that I can honestly say I'm excited to return to teaching, because I have happiness in my heart, and I'm not working so hard at it.